Cool. So there's two parts to this presentation today, and the first part is our normal, when I say normal, hang on. I've got a little cool remote thing here, so I don't have to go back each time. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. The 90-day plan. So firstly, apologies for being delayed with it. We want to get a bit more organised, but we thought putting these together just made sense. So that's why we're doing it a month into the quarter. So we've got a few different heads getting involved in this, so I'll just invite them up to speak when I get a chance. But basically, you guys have all done one of these before, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. We just don't have a Tom and an Amy, so it'll be on me. All right, so here we are with the last 90 days. I'm going to jump straight in and just sort of run through each of the different sections. So obviously, the growth area, total leads are up from 579, up from 477, which is pretty solid. The qualified lead rate's gone down to 9%. It's only 1% change, but that's to be expected when you get more leads. The close rate is up 23% from 13%. So well done to, where is Rob? There he is. Hey, Rob. The close rate's up 23% from 13%. And the output of that was that we had probably one of our biggest quarters to date last quarter, which was pretty cool. With about 119K of sales, up from 89K. Financially, average fee is slightly down from 3470 to 3420, so it's only a bee's dick. The MRR is, yeah, bee's dick. Up from 1358, up from 1237K. So revenue's also up and the GP is also up. So amazing, guys, like what we were able to achieve last quarter. We're coming into a tough quarter, being that we really only get two good months out of 3, being that December's usually pretty soft. People, I'm not going to drill down too much on this because Deb's got a whole slide for it, but team happiness is down from 90%. However, I've got the latest stats, and it's already back up at 89%. And hopefully if we do today well, it's going to be even further in the green, which would be great. So professional development plan rollout, which Deb's going to talk to you about, which is done Perth-wide. And then we also welcomed James, Tashin, Robin, Shell, Daniel, and Sheila. I got a brief on how to say that and not get it right. Did I do it justice? Okay. Cool. The brand, we're obviously refreshing our marketing and brand strategy, and you might even see a new face presenting that today. We've got a video to share with you guys. Stay tuned. We've also got the producer and director of that video in the room with us, Ollie from Y Story Media. So no pressure on him today, but you guys will all be looking here, and he's going to be looking at you. So that's going to be fun. We've had a pretty cool bit of innovation, creating our own Dilate Chrome extension, which works pretty sick. So amazing to the team who worked on that. Further partnerships with Curtin University, mentorship, undergrad support, all of that stuff that's being done is really, really great and innovative. Operationally, strategy resets have commenced and they're well underway. We've refreshed the team onboarding. The new SEO sheets is also done, and refreshed the web sheets and looked at efficiency, also done. And the Better Every Day is done and ongoing and going to be consistently looked at as well. So that's pretty good. So well done. That was awesome. Good job. So our next theme for the next 90 days is growing brands through strategy and relationships. And I don't know about you, but relationships are important to me. They're the heartblood of this place. And one relationship that's really important to me is this girl right here, Lisa. I'm actually not here next Friday for your last day. So I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart how grateful and appreciative I am to have had the time that I had with you. And I know that the team all feels that as well. And Lisa's, going to be prioritising her health and making sure she can have some long extended time off with no compass or bearing in regards to what she's going to do after that. There was some chatter and talk about a discovery role, maybe put pressure on her. I'll only be calling her weekly. But yeah, look, I hope that we see her happy smiling face and her infectious laughter in the office again real soon. But we wish you all the best, Lise. So the theme is growing brands through strategy and relationships. So we want to elevate client brands through the strategy resets framework and fortify existing relationships and surpass industry client retention benchmarks. So what we're saying there is we want to build stronger relationships, use the strategy resets to get in front of your customers, have conversations about how we're changing the way we do things and how we're taking a storytelling and a content focus and longer form content, full funnel approach. Use those strategy resets as an excuse to get in the room with these businesses to fortify relationships and further improve our already exceptional client retention benchmarks. So this quarter, we want to intensify focus on our own brand and our own marketing as well, and to fully harness our growth potential. So there's a few things happening there. So one is we want to keep clients as long as possible and make sure that they're as happy as possible. And we also want to communicate really, really well. And when I talk about our own brand and our own marketing, we're getting bigger as an organization as well now. So we've got a few parts to that. There's the way we communicate externally about Dilate, but then there's also the way that we communicate to our existing clients who have already signed on or who are already customers with us. And then there's even another step further, which is how we market to our people as well. Because the reality is, how you guys perceive the brand, it matters. We've got numbers now. Like, we're a huge organization, and it's really important that you guys are getting the level of communication to understand who we are, who we serve, and how we can do it better moving forward. So hopefully that all makes sense, and I'll kick on to the next.
It's a good award. So, I mean, discovered that a very good quarter, thanks to Maz as well. So, big applause to him. I was in Japan and he pretty much ran the power by himself, made me obsolete. But so what is looking like next 90 days? So obviously focus on innovation and learning. As Bodhi said, is we want to strengthen these relationships and create new ones. So we're developing an outreach strategy because the client we need aren't just coming through inbound. We need to be more than that. As well as strategic partners. Okay, some of you will know that we have strategic partners like the marketing room and Perth University. We just want to grow that as well. One is our new customer journey from lead to onboarding, which was meant to be done last quarter. We just ran out of time. And then start building those success stories for our clients. So guys, please, any success story, share it on Slack. Give us the data. We're just going to make it pretty. Success stories deliver clients. It's very important because client can see what success can look for them. Okay. System and processes, we want to increase the close rate by 5%. We're doing a new pitch deck template. We started doing using some different ways to present media plans, and it's working, we think. As I say, new strategic partnership. And then with Amy, which is not here, but thanks to her, we literally overhauled the whole Excel flows and progression. So it's be simple and a bit more focused on what the customer journey looks like today. Customer service, want to meet the 90% of the due dates. So on Excel, we have due dates, Maz and I, and we're just going to make sure we keep updating them and close the leads, actually transform it into a sale within 25 days. And then we are creating a lost client process. So we didn't have it before. When we lose a proposal, now we'll have an extra touch point after 3 months to check how they're going with the new agency. And if we discover the agency is bad, we just jump in and pitch what we had before. And actually works. I think Kanyana was an example of a lost client that came across crying after 3 months. So it was good. Financial, we want to increase MRR by 90K. I mean, Bodhi wants to increase MRR by 90K. I'm just going to try to find clients out of the road. So John will help with the marketing, I guess. Increase the average. So the new average fee, we want it to be 4.2K. So priority to full service clients rather than just PPC. I know we're passing a lot of PPC, but that's what we're getting at the moment. But there's been some strategy resets that are leading to full service clients. We had one with Ibex today with Jack, was awesome, and they're very keen to start. And then web projects, which is already on track. We want to sign new 9 web projects, so 3 per pod, 1 per month. Okay, sounds good.
So thanks, Rob. That was really awesome. We can see the hard work that you guys are doing, and I think the key for discovery, I think, is as we start to mature, is going to be getting more proficient at going out and finding the types of clients that we want to work with as well, like understanding who you guys want to work with and who's important to you, so that it lights your fire as well. It's no disguise that I love the ocean, so some clients around that for me would light my fire. I would dig working on those sort of businesses, and I'm sure you guys have things that you're all interested in as well. So that's where I'd like to get to, that oversubscribed place. And Maz and Rob, you are doing an exceptional job, so well done.
To be honest, I've been a little bit busy the last couple of days, so this is still the 90-day plan that we put together at the start of the quarter. Honestly, it's not very exciting looking at it here, so I'll quickly skip over the numbers and tell you a little bit about what marketing for Dilate for this quarter actually looks like. So one of the big things that we're trying to do is get the podcast rolling. Bodie's been working on that, so that's great. In terms of systems and processes, we're trying to put together a strategy that anybody can look at and go, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I would have done as well, and build a team structure to actually execute on it. Because, I like to think that I work hard, but there is way more to do than I could ever possibly do myself. And I think if it was just me, we'd get nowhere. So it's really important, I think, to touch on how good the team is and how grateful I am to you lot for the help there and actually getting it done. So we're trying to grow the organic traffic by 5,000 users per month to the site. So just get the eyeballs on Dilate that we'd want on it and that it deserves on it. Grow the social followers by 20%. So I think Jamie's halfway there already, so that's excellent. We're looking at improving the user experience as well by rebuilding a lot of our pages without hurting our rankings and trying to figure out better ways of doing things along the way. So Jim's been doing great stuff with figuring out Figma, and then Dame's been doing great stuff with actually turning that design into reality that's fast and effective and actually works to convert people. We're also looking more at what we can do around funnels and nurture sequences and customer journey-based strategies. So we did all the work in the last couple of quarters around what a better customer journey model looks like. And now we're doing the work around how we can actually turn that into a tangible strategy and funnel that actually gets people through the door. And Tanya's doing great work helping with that one. As far as targets and KPIs go, so we're just trying to keep the team on budget, which so far, we like buying camera gear, so it's not working out so well. And then we're trying to get 90 qualified leads through the door for 600 leads total across the quarter, which should help to hit those ambitious, well, not should help, that's how we hit those monthly revenue targets that Rob's aiming at. So bit of a team effort, and something that we didn't actually put into the presentation is that this quarter we've actually pushed Disco and marketing together as one function, which makes a lot more sense. We'll see how that goes this quarter and maybe keep going, or if we can get everything working smoothly enough, we'll split back out. But for now, yeah, it's one team doing one thing. So the innovation and the learning's probably the most important thing to talk about here. I think that's how we stay ahead in the market, and considering that the only client that gets mad if we do stuff wrong or break stuff or misrepresent the brand is Bodie, it gives us a big, playground for figuring stuff out. And the guys are just constantly coming up with new ideas and new things that we can try. And then we're figuring out what that looks like in terms of outcomes, resources, and how you actually go about doing it so that we can then make it available to you guys for your clients. So everyone's doing really cool stuff there around scripts and video. I was pretty frustrated today, actually. I'd spent the last couple of days working on something, and I thought it was really cool. And I went to tell Lisa, and Pete goes, oh, yeah, been doing that for a couple of weeks. So at this point, I'm feeling like I'm already redundant, but it's exciting. So very keen to see what happens. A big focus for this quarter as well is building up the personal brands of anyone that wants to be involved. We found that the agency is not something that people connect with instinctively, but other people doing good work brings people in. They come looking to work with people. And so that if we can give you guys the platform to be those people that are out there on LinkedIn and Instagram and teaching other people how to do good work, then people will come looking for you to do that work for them. So that's a big focus for us this quarter. It's great to have Dan on board as well with our videos and Toots doing all the social media stuff, because it's really cool to see what we can turn out now and the quality of where we are versus where we started years ago. So it's exciting stuff, lots to do, lots of opportunity there for anyone who wants to be involved. And yeah, just a big thank you to all the guys. I haven't mentioned Robin yet, so Robin's helping with the emails as well. And that's all looking really good. It's just super exciting. And everybody else on the team that I haven't mentioned, Charles as always, and Shell. It's great. I don't think I've forgotten anyone, but who are you pointing to?
Yeah, Wally.
What?
The person of the people, the person that cares more than anyone I know, the person that makes sure there's lollies on your chair, food in your bellies, and that you know where you're headed in this organisation, the person that sets, I set the vision for the organisation, but Debbie sets the vision for each of you guys individually. And that's no small task. So without further ado.
So yeah, obviously, we've got loads and loads of plans and great things that we're setting out to achieve, but we can't do any of that without all of you guys. And a huge big shout out to everybody in the remote team as well that's joining us today. So what's happening in People Ops and Finance? Well, a lot. There's always a lot happening behind the scenes as well. So a big shout out to Ruby, Michelle, and also Kaz too. So our plans for the next 90 days, from a systems and processes perspective, I'm going to be creating an internal role progression process so that everybody can really clearly see what your progression plan is going to be within the business and the things that you need to do, and from a learning perspective as well, what you should be working on to really achieve those goals. We're also obviously planning to increase team retention. We're going to be adding to the vibe check surveys. So we're doing those each quarter, and a big thank you to everybody that participates in those. The numbers are definitely up on them. We very much value all of your feedback. So let's see that continue to grow. We are going to be introducing some little pulse checks as well. So literally just how happy are you on any given day, so that we've got a really good understanding on an ongoing basis, not just 4 times of the year. And obviously we're aiming, I'd love to see a 10 out of 10, but we're definitely aiming for a 9 out of 10. And if there are things that do need addressing, you can always reach out to me at any point in time, because me and the team are here to help. Performance reviews are coming up. Dun, dun, dun. November, December. You would have started to see those calendar invites heading into dropping into each of your calendars. Thanks, Rubes, for your help on those. Keep an eye out on them, because you also have the attachments in there. Closer to the time, I'll be popping some reminders out there. But if you want to give yourself plenty of time, the first section is a score out of 10 on the skills and your 3 accountability items. And then there's a brief section at the bottom on a general review too. So if you're having a good day, slip on into those calendar invites, and don't leave it till the last minute, because we really do want some genuine feedback from each and every one of you. Lovely time of the year coming up. The sun is shining and the end of year celebrations will start to roll around. So that's obviously a bit of planning that goes into all of those. And that's all well and truly underway as well. Hoping that we don't have too much recruitment up our sleeve, but it is something that pops up and does take quite a bit of time and energy, because we are looking for only superhumans that meet the criteria that each and every one of you guys do, including the global team too. And the better every day hour scheduling as well. So we'll continue to work on that. We will keep that quite flexible, because, as different things pop up across the business, we're listening in all of our different conversations and the conversation that the pod leads are having as well. And we do try to tweak and change that on an ongoing basis to make sure that the training that we're rolling out in those sessions is relevant to everybody. And on that note, just as a reminder, those docs are always sitting in there. So if there's things that you want to learn, slip on in there. With the professional development plans rolled out for the Perth team, if there's stuff that you've learned in those that you'd like to share with the team, we'd love to hear from you as well. And from a financial perspective, the girls, as always, are always working on keeping debtor days under 10. To keep the business rolling, we need the money coming in. So a lot of time and effort goes into that too, behind the scenes. But in order to make that as easier a process as it can be for Kaz and Michelle, they are going to be doing an audit on all of our client contacts. So if I can ask you guys to be on the front foot with that, get into your accounts, make sure that you've got up-to-date contacts. and also an up-to-date finance contact, because your day-to-day contact is not generally the person that is paying the bills. Unfortunately, not every company is phenomenal at paying them, and we do have to do some follow-ups, and obviously if they have that information readily available, it makes life a lot easier. But the girls are going to be doing an audit on it, and they will be reaching out to people individually. And so please be cooperative with that one. Just send a couple of emails, follow up on it, make sure that everything's correct in Acello from that perspective there. But that's what's happening in People and Ops.
All right, overall ops rocks. So obviously there's a little bit of repetition here, so bear with us, but strategy reset's 80% done. Better customer service, 98% retention rate can always be improved. Leveling up training and systems and processes. Guru cleanup and analytics dashboard. This analytics dashboard that Amy's working on is pretty cool. It actually shows us what Guru cards are actually being utilized so that we can emphasize and put more time into those, and also bump up the ones that maybe aren't getting enough time and activity on them as well. Obviously trying to hit overall pod GPs of 60%. The guys are working hard on that. The whole team is working hard on that. So DevOps, that's the Williams and the PJs of the world. They're trying to recoup some revenue in regards to what we're paying on cold storage. So as you're aware, if a website gets updated, we take a backup daily. Those backups are kept for 30 days, and then they're kept for every month for 6 months, and we're doing it in Amazon S3. So I think it's really important that we can find some options. One we're looking at is a different alternative to cPanel, which is going to give us the ability to store in Google Drive, which will eradicate that cost altogether, which is pretty exciting. So big shout out to William and PJ on that. Optimizing processes and building a support and ticketing system off the back of WHMCS, which at the moment, if someone comes to us for support, we go into a Google, if it's a support relating to domains, DNS, or hosting, you go into a Google Sheet and you got to request it, but there's no way to know if that client's actually hosted with us. This will actually won't allow you to open a ticketing system. It won't allow you to open a ticket in that dashboard unless they're a client of ours, which is great. So what it means is it'll tell you straight away if we host their DNS, if we're in a position to help, basically. That's right, Lise? Yep. Good. Nailed it. PPC, cross-account auditing, which is awesome. I love that. I love that we're looking at each other's work and we're critiquing each other's work. That's where the learning and the magic happens. Google Ads optimization scores at 80%. DS and PPC strategists are going to be certified in both Blueprint certification and Google Ads certification, which is awesome. So lots happening there. Content rocks. So monthly content reporting is starting. We're going to fill content capacity. So we're going to use things like EDMs, PPC campaign audits as far as like ad copies and things like that, and making sure that rich content creation is a focus as well. We didn't go and invest in camera gear and videos and stuff for no reason. We really want to start creating some cool, rich content as well. That's really exciting. That's the storytelling side. And then the content training with the Better Every Day hour and also within the pods as well. So well done to everyone in the content crew. SEO rocks. So we're going to create an organic marketing product. It might seem strange to create an organic marketing product, but what we're seeing is that typical SEO may be ripe for disruption in the future. It won't happen in the next few years, but it will happen eventually. And what we're planning to do is to get ahead of that and educate all of our team on organic marketing as a whole, which will never be disrupted. Does that make sense? Making sure that we're ahead of where the market's going with AI and knowing that organic covers everything. The same way we've done paid advertising, we called it PPC. We can put social ads in there. We can put Google ads in there. So organic marketing is going to be a bucket to have SEO, content, all of the different areas of organic media. And the difference between the two, you're going to refer to PPC as paid to play media or paid advertising. And this is going to be an earned media, where we're actually doing the work and investing for the long term over, through organic. Make sense? Reduce quarterly off-page spend by 35%, advanced off-page techniques, 2 organic live links per account, and migrate new SEO sheet, including 90-day action plans, and then quarterly cross-account audits as well, which is pretty exciting. So Christian's got his work cut out for him, introducing new product and also refining existing product and making sure we're doing an amazing job there. So well done, Krishna, heading up that. Projects and production rocks, our 4, soon to be 3 producers. Project delivery improvements and obviously hitting that 10 projects delivered on time and in budget. So pretty straightforward. Some of the work that's coming out of the production team at the moment is exceptional. Like honestly, some of the projects that we're seeing are just top notch. But more importantly than that, last quarter the production crew actually smashed their quarterly target as well. So I want to give them another shout out because that was a pretty big stretch target, and they killed it. So well done. All right, pod 1, the Wunions.
Cool. So pod 1, there's been a few things happening in the last quarter. We've had a few new people who have joined us. We've got James in SEO, Tashin and Robin both in the content side of things. And we also have another bloke, Melvin, joining us early next month. So a lot of growth happening there. We also are working with some incredible new businesses, Perth Festival, Melville MG, Osborne Park Kia, LDV, Jan Pro, Throne Boss, Sanus Wellness, and as of today, RSM, which is the 6th biggest accounting firm in Australia. So that's a huge one. And if all things come true, potentially Waytok as well, which is a super cool business that works with a lot of kind of Indigenous tourism, absolute legends. So that's a lot of good stuff is happening. We're also trying some fancy new things. The guys in the team have been working on a lot of new kind of link building opportunities through kind of the branded Chrome extensions and even just in, I guess, using those to build the Dilate brand as well. If we've got tools that people who are in the industry are using and we're putting out there, it just builds our brand within the actual industry itself as well. So one thing is to acquire clients and to look good in front of clients, but at the end of the day, if other people that are in your industry are using the tools that you're creating, that's a huge pat on the back for the business. So that's a big one. The other thing as well is obviously we're diving a lot deeper into EDMs, and that's obviously tying into things like I guess, again, True North, things for custom timber, things for Dilate even as well, with Robin doing a lot of work on that. And a big part of that is, say, for example, again, using True North as a reference, is building out these custom RSS feeds and that sort of thing, which they're not just pulling through your blogs and that sort of thing. It's actually pulling data out of the website so that you can have dynamic content in those EDMs. And that's just a little bit different. It's a little bit unique, and it's going to deliver, I guess, a customized journey for your customers, which is exactly what you want. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what we've been up to for the last 90 days. A lot of other things have been happening in that too, but that's the small snapshot that fits on one slide.
But yeah, thank you guys. So yeah, I've just written some stuff here, but before I even get into that, I just want to say Pod 2 has been through like a lot of changes over the last 12 months, but I've just never felt better about the people that we have here now, the clients we're working with, the global team is amazing, and the things that we're putting out and that, you know, the feedback we're getting from clients is like really, really cool. And I'm feeling like we're in an amazing spot. So thanks to everyone, and like it's, yeah. Especially Debbie as well, who played a huge role in helping us find all the amazing people that we have in the team. But yeah, definitely some good things have been happening as well. I just pinched Mark's format, but so yeah, Sheila started with us and she's really smashing it out. Only been here a couple of weeks, but she's already done more than many people in the first 2 weeks. It's really, really good. Also, I forgot to put this in here, but Aldrin has started with us in the global team too, and he's really kicking some amazing goals for our clients at the moment too. In the SEO team, Inesh and Mika have been here 6 months now. It's crazy, flying colours. It wasn't a matter of passing probation at all. It was a matter of me. I went into the room and basically just begged them to stay for as long as possible. Yeah, forever. I tried to chain their leg to the table, but they got away. Yeah, been smashing records as well for many clients like Nourish Me. You know, Jack's been working so hard on that and really like been hitting huge numbers for that client, happier than ever. CD Soft was an account that Inesh has taken over and was,
Keys was one of our more experienced guys in the team when she left and was having trouble getting this one working. And Ines is just breaking records with CDSoft as well, which is incredible. Nat Charters, had a rocky start as well, but one of the best seasons ever. So you guys are really killing it on everything that we're basically doing now. I've seen huge growth in these clients over the last 3 months and more. We launched a bunch of incredible websites as well. Elliott Insurance, RV Solutions, My Integra, clients are stoked with it. We went to Elliott Insurance's launch and it was amazing to see everything he's doing with that brand that we were a part of. And Jones & Co. brand workshop, that started in the quarter before but finished, and the results kind of came out in this quarter. An amazing thing from Mika and John and Lisa and everyone, and Alec, everyone that was involved. Client is so stoked and can't say how much that has impacted their business, and they can see the path forward and they can see a really amazing journey for their business after that brand workshop. So well done to everyone who was a part of that. So yeah, working with some cool businesses too. One of the funnest ones is the Tourism Council of WA. It's going to be a big one for us. Nesh taking the lead, and I can see hopefully we can start getting some more tourism into Dilate as well, which is going to be real fun. I know everyone's keen on that. Plenty of other cool businesses too, such as Premium Glass, Jones & Co, Ibex Australia, Kenyana, Workhorse. Tons of great clients coming on board. And this quarter, we're focusing on dealing with our grief from Jack leaving us. So 24th of December is, I think, his last day. So we'll have to do a bit of I don't want to say celebration, but a fun night. Yes, and no Irish goodbyes this time, mate. We're really focused on leveling up our SEO outreach in Pod 2 this quarter as well. Krishna and Aldrin and all the guys are really putting a lot of effort into that this time, and I can see some great results coming through already. Strengthening our client bonds, really being there. We've got a few new clients, so we just want to make sure that they're loving working with us and they see us as a part of their team, not just an agency. Rolling out our strategic resets. What's next for our businesses? What's next for our clients? How do we help take them to the next level? Leveling up our skills with the PD plan. Everyone's got an amazing set of goals that they're wanting to achieve over the next quarter and getting started on them. And I think we're going to rebrand our pod as well. It's a mishmash of the chuggers and the unicorns and the scorpions, and we've changed so much in the last 12 months. I think it's time for the new people to put their mark on Pod 2 and really own our brand moving forwards as well. But Pod 2, best pod forever.
Look, I guess Pod 3, where we're coming from, where we're going is I'm trying to put a really big focus on our people. It is our people every day that are making the difference. And, we've had some really good things to celebrate, some stuff that we're working on and focusing on, and some cool new businesses. So some really cool things to celebrate was that last quarter, the last 2 months, we actually hit target, which was great. And one of the biggest things in getting us there was Chelsea hit her target for the first time ever, which was great, because that was a lot of you guys might have forget, but we actually went through a lot of learning with the whole dev department, and we went through a lot of changes, and to see those guys have the month that they did last month was just, it was so good. So yeah, to see all that come together was great, and well done, Chelsea, and we're on track to beat even this month. So very good stuff there. Seeing our leadership team step up. So as I said, we have a lot of a junior team and a lot of people learning, but also a lot of people who have been around for a while that really want to help out our staff as well. So a lot of the leadership team stepping up. And Swathi had a beautiful baby boy, which I know none of you guys knew that she was pregnant. I knew for a while, and she was just, I was asking her, when are you going to tell everyone? When are you going to tell everyone? And she didn't tell everyone, and then it was a little bit premature. So, but yeah, congratulations to Swathi, and a big shout out to all our SEO team that's on the call.
These guys were already prepared 2 months before with Swathy's with the birth of Swathy's boy. So they had everything ready. They knew who was going to take whose accounts. So thank you so much for doing that. We've got some awesome new businesses come through. UDO was a great one, and thanks, Maz, for all the work you do on that to get that through. And it's leading to some other opportunities, which was really good, and we had some good stuff going there. PBR Plumbing, Amara Hair, Manage Mode, Rainstorm was another good one, and Care Australia. And like I said, we're doing what we can to focus on our people. I really believe that the simplest form of what we do is we have, if we take away everything, we have our people and we have our staff, and the job is just keeping both as happy as we can. And I'm really trying to focus on, in this next quarter, keeping our people as happy as we can and doing what we can to really grow our people as best we can. We've got a little bit of a book club going. So I've bought a bit of a leadership book. I've noticed of some of the things where I feel like we're lacking and where I think we can improve. And I'm hoping that's going to help, I guess, give the senior team a bit of power to know the right ways to approach some of the things and some of the issues they're finding. Some brand building opportunities as well. And a really big focus on, as much as we can, client retention and training and learning. Because I really, really feel like we have all of the right people. I love everyone who's in the team. I love what everyone's doing, but it's just making sure that everyone's up to speed to make sure we keep that equation of happy clients and happy people. So, yeah, really big thanks everyone in Pod 3 for the last quarter, because it was really good. And I guess through what is it's a pretty hard time at the moment out there for a lot of people. Like, this last quarter is going to be very testing, but I think we're really going to see what we're made of, you know? So we really got to push through this last quarter. So yeah, that's all I got.
I've been working on something, and it's kind of like a bit of a gift to you all. It's to show you how we can. You guys are like, oh, you're going to see it and you're going to be like, that's not a gift for us, but it's cool. It's cool. I just wanted to show you guys a way that we could have some visualizations of how we're going each month in the team and in the company. So this is what I built. What do you reckon? And when I say I mean I got Lisa's help, and Jig designed it, and it doesn't actually work yet. I haven't coded it yet, so it's just a design. But what do you think? Pretty cool, right? So, so basically, we're going to be able to see every month the revenue, and this thing here, like it'll show you guys what we're aiming for as a business, and then it will have a downward arrow if it's off, like this one here. And then it will, as the month fills up, it'll turn green. It's like a traffic light. And I know, right? It's pretty amazing. And the MRR is like obviously the residual income in the business, which is good. That's what pays everyone's salaries. And then the other stuff, the production, the creative work, that kind of is the cream on the crop. So it'll show you the difference between the two different areas. And then we'll have GP as well. Then we'll also have a section there for Wild Dog on his phone back there, 200 leads. We'll have a win rate for Maz and Rob, and then we'll have how many actual clients are coming in the pipeline, which is great for planning as well. And then we have little, because the guys are doing their growth equations with Vishelle now, and she's been kind of working with them really well. And we're going to like set their little targets for them. These are all just fudgy numbers. They're not. What? A bit, you know. Decent targets. So yeah, we're going to have these like live. It'll be hosted, so it'll be like dashboard.dilate with a password or something, and we can give, and then we can have it on the TV screens as well. So there'll be one in every office, so that you come in, you get to see this beautiful dashboard with the Wunyan, Scorpy, Corns, and the Cog Dogs, and how we're doing and stuff. So it's pretty cool. All right, so that's all the fun stuff. That's the last 90 days, but now we're on to still fun. It's a bit more serious. So, wise man, Tom Parker. Is Tom on the call? All right. So anyway, wise man Tom Parker. I just didn't want him to hear that, because Yeah, a wise man. So wise man Tom Parker always says that culture is the way we do things. So I've personally grown quite fond of the way we do things here at Dilate. We're very lucky, I think, that early on in our journey, we were able to define things like our values, our purpose, our vision, and our mission for the company. And that, sure, it's evolved over the years, but the foundational core has always remained a beacon in the noise. And it's allowed us to know who we are, where we're headed, and all the rest just falls into place. All the rest just becomes the noise. So it's kind of like our guiding light. So I'm going to walk you through some of them again now. And although some of you are probably like, oh, he's going to do the values again, we got new people in the organisation, and those people, these things might be relatively fresh. And like advertising, you need to hear and see things multiple times before it, you get that kind of cultural infusion and cult-like state. But like, because seriously though, all jokes aside, I never want these values to be just words on the wall. Like, they mean a lot to me, and they mean a lot to the organisation, and they've steered us right for a long time. So very, very quickly, our values: drive. So what does that mean? It means to drive by results in everything we do, to be driven by results in everything we do, and to grow in all ways, always. So that's the fire in your belly to come here every day. That's the waking up and going, I have purpose, I have something to do that brings value to those who I'm doing it for. Innovation, so having the courage that it takes to step outside of your comfort zone and go, I see where the market's going, and I'm going to take not only my own role, but the business forward and do what's needed to position us for success. And that doesn't just fall on a few in research and development or marketing, that falls on each and every one of us to look at where the market's going. Leadership. Being a leader is a choice, not a title. I fucking hate titles. I hate them. That's why for a long time I had Director of All Things Wonderful. I don't give a fuck about titles. And some of you, I understand, might. And that's okay. But the reality is, I feel that what we do is more important than a title. The outcome of the work is the important part. So I want you guys to not be defined by your title, and not to be scared to step outside of your role and be the change that you want to see in the organisation. And that's really, really important. And you might be a new person in the organisation, and you're looking at some of the more, people who have been here longer in much bigger roles, and you're looking at them and you're going, how did they get there? And that's exactly right. They acted like a leader before they were given the title to do so. And that's how you get to those roles. Accountability to ourselves, to our teammates, to our clients. Own your role and be confident and back yourself in what you're doing. So you guys are all fabulous. You're all great. You wouldn't be here. People who are subpar don't make it through our interview process. You are all exceptional human beings with capabilities that far exceed your expectations of yourself. What you guys can do is incredible. So just back yourself and know that you're sitting here for a reason. Transparency, to be open and honest in everything we do, and to honor the trust given to us by our clients. So that's not just something that's on the wall. At times, that's a tough one, but it's the right thing to do. And I think it's also the right thing to do internally with each other as well. If something's bothering you, pull that person aside, talk to them directly. The worst thing you can have in an organization is triangles of, shit. You better you got a problem, grab it, go for a coffee, sort it out, talk about it, be vulnerable. And then empathy, that human element. I always say that we are each gifted with a perspective based on our human conditioning over years of our objective awareness and experience that we get. And we're all different. My perspective is very different to your perspective, and no one's perspective is similar to, no one's perspective is ever going to be identical to someone else. So just remember that that person that you're dealing with, they're never going to act like you. They're never going to do things in the same way as you, and that's because they're not you. And if you start to understand that we're all different, but we're all perfect at the same time, empathy becomes easier, compassion becomes easier, because you understand that they've got their own challenges. You don't know what happened to them before they rocked up to work that morning or the night before. So just use that in every interaction you have with clients and each other. And try to walk a day in each other's shoes, ask questions, be curious, try to learn as much as you can about someone, because it does make it easier to understand a person if you understand who they are and what their perspective is. All right, real quickly, our purpose. We're in the business of building businesses. That one's been around with me since 2012. Pretty much that was the first thing I said, in the company, and I was really happy because I lost that building businesses for a while, and Wally and me sort of dug it out of the archives and slapped it back in there because I really liked it. So yeah, we're in the business of building businesses, not through physical bricks and mortar and tin roofs and that sort of thing, where literally we do it through the skills that we've been given, which is creative, outcomes-driven marketing. And the creative part is all of the other stuff that goes around it. So being creative is such a huge part of what we do. Okay. Our mission here at Dilate is to create an environment worthy of our people's time, that's you, and work that's worthy of our clients' investment, they're the ones that pay for us all to be here, and outcomes beneficial to both. A true win-win economy. I always say there's no difference to you going and taking a job client side as working in an agency. A lot of people think there is, but the reality is the only difference is you got one company paying one human being to do a job. We've got multiple companies paying multiple human beings to put together a job. And the reason they come to us is because we have so many experts in one place. They get better economies of scale, which is great. So that's our mission. Our vision, to be the most respected agency in Australia. And a lot of you are probably like, well, that's really hard to measure. John said it to me the first time I showed him that. But the reality is, a vision is supposed to be an ambitious goal that you may never reach, but it's something you strive towards. It's a beacon in the darkness. It's a light in the shade, and you move towards it. And it's the same as the values. It's a decision tree. Would the most respected agency in Australia do that? No, they wouldn't. All right, let's do this then. So you use it to steer the ship. All right. Where did I go back? Hang on. I've lost something. Bear with me. Hang on. Oh, where are we today? I don't know why that was so funny. I just need some water. I'm getting parched up in this joint. Where are we today? I'll tell you where we are. We're a beautiful bunch of human beings doing our darndest to deliver positive outcomes to amazing clients, which, lights my fire, makes me happy. We're a team-first group that genuinely cares for one another, the work we do, the client businesses that we get the privilege of helping, and the industry that we work in. And that's something to be proud of. So let's take a look at us. Look at those gorgeous people. Now, not everyone's up there, I understand, but that's where we are today. That's our company structure. That's the org chart that is in our marketing deck that we show clients, and these are all the... And inefficiencies are starting to rear their head due to blurred lines of communication. It's normal. We're a growing company, we're getting bigger, and as we get bigger, you need to streamline things to allow better, more succinct lines of communication. So the single heads of functions, although have done an exceptional job, might be bottlenecking and limiting progression opportunities within the pods as well. Too much focus on alignment between pods, although important to make sure this pod does it the same way as that pod, it could potentially limit future innovation as well. If everyone has to do things the same way, we're going to end up with a cookie cutter approach as well. So I wanted to share with you what I thought would be a good way to solve some of these potential issues. So our vision for better. No middle management. I looked on some of our competitor websites, and as they grew and got bigger, there were these big lines of if I can be honest with you, it was like white men in suits across the top. Look like they've never run a digital marketing campaign in their life. And I was like, I would rather die than go there. So no middle management. We want to kill the term management altogether. I want everyone either strategizing, and if you're not strategizing, you need to be given additional time to lead. So do you see the difference, the language difference between managing someone and leading someone? It's a real perspective shift if you think about it. Clear lines of communication and clear lines of progression. An environment of serving both the clients and each other. And how are we going to do that? I'm scared, I don't know what slide's next. I'm like, am I supposed to go to the next slide yet? This is continued, sorry. Okay, so an environment of serving both clients and each other. So, what do we need? Well, we need better humans. We're all fabulous, don't get me wrong, but we can all be better. How do we engineer that? How do we get better? How do we become better? Training, development, innovation, a positive environment to do it in, bringing your philanthropic ambitions to the table, and then obviously people themselves internally, if we do all those things right, we create an environment where people will strive and drive to be better every day. And I think we're doing that quite well. And the byproduct of that will be we will deliver better marketing because we're going to be happier, more driven, more innovative, more educated, more growth-minded human beings. We get to deliver better marketing and outcomes to clients, which will in turn be educational content, better customer journeys, better messaging, engineering the Dilate Academy, innovative tactics, and an always-on approach to development, product development, and innovation. We need that. If we don't have that, the pace of innovation is changing so fast, so we have to have that. So one feeds into two, and the byproduct of that is building better brand and brands. Brand is us, brands is them, our clients. So if we do that right, we're going to build better, we don't call them clients, we try not to, we call them better partners. Advocacy, people going out and spreading the good gospel about how great Dilate is. Better storytelling and being known for impact and also being known for being people focused, which I think is great as well. And then from that, although a little bit altruistic, it will, when I talk about a better world, your world is your perspective of it. So I'm talking about a better world for you guys, in which your personal achievement, the true win-wins that come to fruition, and the fact that you get to come and show up every day and bring and have better impact in the world, and also maybe bringing some of those philanthropic ambitions to light through what you do here at Dilate as well, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of how I think we can move this place forward. So the next 3 years. Sorry, my thing's playing up. It's got the same thing at the bottom. The next 3 years. These are some of the things I wanted to share with you, because I think sometimes I don't communicate what's going on in my head as much as I probably should, and I just kind of keep coming to work consistently 1%, trying to push the place forward. But these are some of the things that are on my radar for Dilate. Strategic acquisitions and mergers. So in regards to growing the business, it makes sense that we would look, there's more ways to grow a business. You can put more clients in the top, 1, 2, 12 a month, 12 a quarter, whatever it is. Or you can go out and acquire a company that has similar values, similar client portfolio, or potentially has a differing offering. So they might have a video side to their business. I don't know where we'd find a good partner in video, but you might have a social or PR company, because I think a lot of what we do here is quite noteworthy. Hosting has been a vein of our existence since we started it. We're getting better at it, obviously, but not out of choice. No, it's great. I love it. I love all of our services and products. And the reality is those things will give us another feather to our cap and another bow. But it also could give us one thing that we're out of at the moment, which is office space, where we could have a geographic expansion into north of the river or even eastern states agencies, And so that's something that's always on my radar, is looking for strategic partners in the space that we're playing in or in aligning spaces with us that can get us to our goals faster, whilst not, I wouldn't do it if I felt we were going to lose our soul on the way there, put it that way. So that's something that's on my mind. So culture development. I think that what we have here is really special. I'd love to see more of that for the global team. I feel like although we have some of the best minds in the world globally across India and the Philippines and other locations, I often lay awake at night thinking how much they would value a place where they could go. And they don't have to go there all the time. And what I'm saying is that we might hire new people in that office space in, let's say, the Philippines or India, but the people who are already working remote, happy for them to stay where they are. But in the future, it might be a place where we can have a bit of a culture like we have here, because it's special. It's special what we've got here, you know what I mean? The water cooler chats, the in-house chef, all of those things is really cool. And also one thing that comes out of cultural development is innovation. You know what I mean? You innovate better when you're in a room with someone or two people or three people and you're throwing ideas around and seeing what sticks. Brand growth, Dilate, above the line. I want to see us on telly. I don't know, I might do it once and never do it again if it doesn't give us good return on investment, but I want to do it once. I want to do it. I want to see the Dilate mugs on the TV. I want to see billboards. I'd like to try it. I think we can't sit here and say those things don't work unless we give them a go, right? So I'd like to try some of those out of home or above the line tactics. PR, I think that we don't even touch the sides on that. I think we've got a lot of cool stories, and I think we do things different. I might just say that, but I do think we're different to a lot of other businesses out there. So I think there's a lot that could be communicated about the way we run this business. The Dilate Academy. So it makes sense if we're bringing new people in all the time to the business and we're training them up, that we get better at capturing that knowledge, storing that knowledge for future staff, but also maybe even adding something out there in the public space where we can train other marketers and digital marketing professionals and teach, whether it be in a free capacity or a paid capacity. But if we can contribute to their growth when they go to their next in-house marketing job, who are they going to think about when they need services from an agency? They're going to think about the people that gave them more than they got out of their university degree. Not saying university degrees aren't great, by the way. They're great, but I'm saying that, giving them actual real world implementation. Strategic partnerships and outreach and working, reaching out to clients that we want to work with. Events and collabs. I'll talk more about that, but there's only a few events in Perth. I don't know if you guys go to events, but there's probably TEDx Perth is probably the only one that's on my radar as doing good stuff. And even when you go to a TEDx event, not everyone is relevant to the information you want to receive or the things that you're interested in. So you'll go to a TEDx event and you'll see one or two speakers and you'll go, they're great, and then the next few you won't like. So I'd like to actually produce an event that I would want to go to. And I don't think there's many in Perth. I see ones in the eastern states a fair bit, but I'd like to produce something of high value with great guest speakers, paid speakers who actually know what they're talking about, who don't get awkward and don't know what to do with their hands like me, and can come up here and really blow the socks off, the listeners, and we can do it on a yearly or annually, an annual basis, and deliver something that we're proud of, that's exceptional, and that is really Dilate-esque. And obviously, strong storytelling capabilities. This one's huge. In the new world, I think storytelling is something that machines can't take away from us. You know what I mean? It's innately who we are. And I think, speaking of which, I approached Ollie, who's sitting here patiently, And I approached Ollie from Y Story Media a few months back, and and the goal was to get him to help us to tell our story in the form of what he would refer to as an origin story or a Y story video. And my hope was initially to commemorate the journey to date of Dilate, but also set some really, really strong foundations for future growth and really give you guys a little piece of how I see the brand. Does that make sense? How I see Dilate, because often you'll probably see me as the guy who's cracking jokes or running around the office like a headless chook and sometimes doesn't have time for small talk and things like that. But I want you to see you how I see you, if that makes sense. So let's do that, shall we? You've got to use creativity to generate attention in a noisy environment, but then you have to have tangible measures to know whether creativity is actually making bang. If you're not making bang for the businesses that you represent, you are just adding to the noise.
Most sports teams are run better than businesses. Everybody knows what the goal is. Everybody understands that they can't win a game by themselves. And in order to win that game, they need to know what the play is, they need to have a structure in place, and they need to have a process.
We had to make a decision. We knew what we needed to be able to deliver the best outcomes to the clients and the best experience to our team. And we had to continuously reinvest in the business for growth, which means that over the last 5 years, we didn't take the profit out of the business. We literally kept reinvesting for growth. Business, numbers, growth. I wanted to just grow a successful business and I wanted to make a lot of money in the early days. It was my birthday and my wife said, "How do you want to spend the day?" And I said, "I want to go down the beach and meditate, and whatever you want to do with the rest of the day is up to you." So I sat down in this dugout on the beach and I started to meditate. I felt like I'd come home. It was like I'd downloaded something. Something had come back with me, like a knowingness. I'd tapped into something else. That was the catalyst for people. That's what I came to realize, that we are all interconnected. When you realize how interconnected we are at that level, I felt like my job in Dilate is to create a win-win economy in which everyone benefits. A rising tide lifts all ships and everyone gets the outcome.
So when the opportunity came up to buy into Dilate, it was a hell yes moment. It was scary, but I strangely, weirdly had absolutely no hesitation to do it.
Just the other day, I thought to myself, my org chart's not serving me anymore. And I really looked at it and I realized it was the wrong way up. It had me at the top. And I thought, that's the wrong way. So I turned the org chart upside down. And when you do that, who's at the top? The clients. And then who's next most important? The team. But guess which part of the team? It's the new people in the business.
So the Dilate way is the systems and culture side of things. It's how we do things, but the values themselves, I think like any values, they often are born from the founder. If you think of any particular business, you probably think of the founders of those businesses as well. It's that personality, it's that approach, it's that ethos.
The reality is you can't stop growing because your people won't stop growing. They want growth and your clients want growth.
What does it take to matter? Like, what's important to us? What are the values that we're looking for someone to come and work at Dilate, but also what are the values that we're looking for from those that we want to work with?
I was watching the team present some of the work that they'd done and I was just in awe. I was sitting back going, how did we get here? Like, I'm really proud of this work. I started the business by hiring the best minds that I could find wherever they might be. I actually think that the future of Dilate will be one probably where we get to a place where we're a little bit oversubscribed and we have people who are willing to wait for what we have because they know that we're going to do it right. I'm trying to show people that you can have business, financial, analytics and creativity can all go in the same pot and we can mix it up and still get a really solid outcome. So what Ollie was able to do was exceptional, so amazing. Like when I knew he was going to come, you know, when he told me the storyline and what he wanted to do, I was really uncomfortably, vulnerably nervous, like really uncomfortable because I wanted you guys to be the focus. Does that make sense? But the way you were able to craft that message, and I'm just really thankful for that, just even from the simple fact of having, I think, telling the last sort of 10 years, I think you've done that really well. So, but one thing I wanted to drill down on is that there is power in the stories we tell ourselves. You know, and the thing that I've always loved about Dilate is I get to be in the service of others, whether it's team or it's client. And that's important to me. So my hope for this video is to leave you with a different perspective and one question. And that question, if this fucking thing will work, is who are you serving? Because I'm here to serve you guys. I don't have clients anymore. My job is to serve you and to do it really well. And this is how we're going to do it. So this is the new structure and what it looks like. And let me take a minute to explain it because I don't want, the last time we rolled out an org chart, it didn't go too well. But we're following traction more and we're essentially, this is a marketing and discovery team. Don't worry about that. Everyone, it's like a photo. Everyone looks for themselves in the photo. I'm going to drill down in a minute. It's 3 pods serving clients and doing so by having lead roles. So you've got lead roles across PPC, lead roles across SEO, content, production, lead developers, lead designers, and lead digital strategists within each pod. Operations is now dusted through the 3 pods to support the pod leads. Discovery will, and keep in mind, this is 3 years' time from now. You know what I mean? This is not today. I'm going to show you what today looks like. But discovery back in pods because it works. You've got a finance and people ops department, but the reality is you've got functions. You've got finance and people, which as we get bigger, one day will split into finance and people. Operations is all of this. The only operations we have is the 3 businesses that we're building. And we're building 3 businesses because we want you guys to do and see and innovate and do things differently. And if we had one business, we'd do it in one way. But I like the fact that, you know, we're innovating and, you know, people are building shit in their own pods and they're sharing ideas. And there's going to be cross-pollination between, you know, producers will get together and talk about what works. And, you know, content people will get together and talk about what works. But the reality is we're all serving and leading, and that's great. And we're all leading the new people in the organisation to lift them up. So if you wanted to look at where we are today, that's us today. That's an exact replica of us today. Some pods don't have leads in certain roles. Some pods, you know, they're all in different places. Some have way more SEO people in their team, you know. So the beautiful thing is it's a moving target. Things are going to change, and I can't see as good as my vision is. My actual vision's getting shit. But as good as my vision is, I can't see everything, guys. All I'm trying to do is lock myself in rooms for long enough to try to paint a structure in which will support what you guys need. And if I was to go back one slide, hang on. I would say to you, if I was going to tell you what the exciting part about this is, it is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lead roles in each pod. So the opportunity for you all has just tripled, essentially, for you guys to be able to grow within the organisation. So yeah, who are you serving? And just knowing that it's in your hands, guys. Like, I can't do this for you. We have to do it together as a team. If I can't put it all on my shoulders and run across the finish line. Your pod leads can't do that. Your people ops people. We all need finance, marketing. Everyone needs your support. See a cool, innovative marketing tactic, take it to the marketing team. Think about a good outreach strategy, take it to the discovery team. Think about something that's going to help us keep our people longer, take it to Debbie. You know what I mean? These are the things that need to happen for us to really thrive. I'm going to send this out, but here's a breakdown at a pod level as well. So there's going to be questions. There's always questions, and my cubicle's open, so bring them to me. I can't have thought of everything, but I tried to think of most things, and I think this is going to really serve us moving forward into where we need to go. So yeah. Any? I feel like watching the video again. No, just joking. Do you guys want to have some beers and move out onto the deck thing and chill out now? Yeah? Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do that. Thanks for your time. Thanks for that, Cody. No worries.